in my opinion, it's parental, just, you got to get this right, you got to do this, you got this whole kind of parental oversight of stifling a person where the desire is to help them. We often stunt them. And so I start working with this guy and start working with him on his charm and his personality and his passion and his enthusiasm. And slowly his eyes begin to light up and his smile comes on his face and you can see a glow start to come about him. And I said, yeah, this is where we need to stay. Let's stay in this place. And I kept with him. And he goes, wow, I miss this so much. And you could just see so many people are not living alive. They're still locked in. And part of you needing to present and to be in front of people is to unleash your personalities, unleash your passions, unleash your enthusiasm, so that you're living with more of this intent and more of this purpose that is so necessary for people to want to just kind of be with you. I think we just blew a bulb out. So again, and that's my producer's shoulder right there. If you're wondering what that is coming in, this is kind of fun here. Okay, so let me move on to the next part of this. Focus is paying attention. Thank you for that. Is paying attention, taking notice. It's a state of interest. These are core rudimentary definitions to these words. It's important that words have meaning and they're rooted in deep meaning of what they represent. And when you unfold them, it helps to free you up in the meaning of what does it mean to be focused. We all say things, I need more energy, I need more focus. You know, it's like, well, what does that mean? This is where I'm helping you to get this understanding. Taking notice. Now, what does that mean? You can glance at something, okay? You can glance at something. Let's just take a look at that for a second. You can glance at something. Glancing at something is you're catching it out of the peripheral of your eyes, okay? You're just glancing at it. Then you say, well, I got to take notice. Okay, well, I'm going to take notice. It's like, oh, well, what is that caught my attention? And now you take notice. And then something happens where you really start to see it. You start to see something. You remember the movie Avatar? There was a real bit, I see you, I see you. It's really taking that other person in or taking that object in. Then from seeing, you go into studying. Studying is now, okay, everything, let's go, let's really see what it is that's going on here. And the next level of that is analyzing. Now you're going into a deeper, intense place of taking that thing in. That takes time, it takes effort, focus, and concentration. It doesn't just happen. But when you practice these skills, you get better and better at it. And this is why when you look at somebody that's a trained professional on working on camera, they see you, they're seeing you, and a lot of times they put you back. I was in a Q&A with Tom Hanks several years ago, and I had a question for him, and I was fortunate enough to get chosen to speak to Mr. Hanks. And I asked the question, and he turned and he looked at me. And when he turned and looked at me, I actually had to sit back in my chair, because I don't know that I've ever received that much focus and attention from anybody, let alone a stranger. I mean, Tom Hanks and I don't know each other. And he was just so present. When you're looking at decades of on-camera training and work that this man does, and it's that focus that's just so intense, because it's not just glancing. I work with so many new actors and people that want to get into acting, and they don't even know where to look or how to look somebody in the eyes. And so it's taking us from that vague generalization into that laser focus. And that comes with time and with practice. And again, that's my intention with this teaching with you guys, is to get you to the point where you're really going to the next level of what this means. So there's focus, all building up towards intention. Now, direction. Direction is instructing the course as to how something must go. It's having a specific direction. So say somebody that's wandering in a meadow and somebody that's working through a maze. It's different. There's more intent when you have direction. Often it's with management and supervision, or in other words, a director or producer, an overseer, showrunner, somebody that's guiding and leading you specifically to a specific and special destination or place. And what is specific? It's precise and it's clear. Watch the the accumulation of these words on how they work together. I intentionally put them in yellow for you. Specific, special, precise, clear. Let's move on. Purpose. What's purpose? Purpose is a specific reason for something. You're going to see a lot of these words repeat themselves because words will often use the same words to define themselves. And when you define those words, they'll come back to those other words that continue to define themselves. And then as you go deeper into the true meaning of those words, you really get what they're all about. It's to live for something important. Most people don't live for something important outside of what they want and they're desiring. It's when you get a goal and a deadline, that's when things become powerful. Just, thoughts without deadlines are just dreams. And you want to turn a dream into a goal and give it a deadline, give it specificity and importance and purpose. Now you're charging, if you will, the forces of the universe, the forces of yourself. You're getting God's attention, if you will, because you're now on point. Oh, I want to get in shape. Well, you go to the gym, you work out, you go for a hike, whatever. That's not what an Olympian is going to do. An athlete that's trying to make the NFL or trying to make the Olympics or wants to become a professional volleyball player or whatever it might be is now way more focused, living with way more purpose than some of this just generally working out. You see the difference? Now, I want to speak to those of you that want to turn what you're doing into a profession, that you want to be paid for who you are and what you say and what you do. That's what I'm talking about. And this is the energy that it takes. Now, I've been coaching actors for decades. I got a really good idea on the people that don't take it serious and the people that do take it serious and the results that come out of it. And honestly, just going to be straightforward with you, in my acting studio, and again, I've been acting training since 1990, a lot of people come in saying they want this, they want that, I want to fly without a plane. Yeah, there's all kind of things we want, children want, but you have to shift to the next level to turn those wants into realities. And this is the intent that I have with this teaching, so let's move on. You need a plan. Now, there's two folds to this plan. What is a plan? A plan is a detailed proposal for doing something or achieving something. It's having intention or decision about what you are going to do. Without a plan, there's a famous proverb, without a plan, people perish. You need a plan or you're just functioning. If you don't have a blueprint, you can't build the house properly. If you don't have a script, what are we doing? We're all improvising, and you still have to have a beginning, a middle, and end. There has to be a direction to go in. And I tell people when I do my career counseling, I say what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that your plan is in place. We're going to plan your work, and then you've got to work that plan. We're going to plan your work, and then you're going to work that plan. And what's the difference? It's the difference between somebody just hoping and dreaming that something happens to them and somebody that's actually going after it and wants to do something with their life. Okay? So plans are huge and important, and for actors, that's your script, and that's your character understanding. Who is your character, and what's the plan of your character? What is the intent of your character? What is the integrous nature of your character? You have to understand that you and your characters are not all the same. Your characters are different. They operate different. Sure, we're the power pack for the character, but the character has a whole different set of belief systems and operations and a plan for life, if you will. And in the specific story that we're telling, that plan would be the intention in that scene. What are we wanting to accomplish in that specific scene? That's the plan. Okay? All right. And again, I will do a review with this. Now, next two, I put them together because commitment and choice, they work very strong together, and these are two scary, scary words. Commitment. Oh boy, what does that mean? What does it mean? I kept it simple. It's dedicated to a cause. If you're going to commit to working for an organization, you're saying, I am committing to do my best to accomplish everything that you're asking me to do with this job description. I am committing to doing this. Now, How do we know commitment is difficult? Because you're going to most likely have a contract. For actors, when you get committed to significant projects, you're going to get a contract saying, we need you available for these days. This is what we're going to require of you. This is what we'll pay you. This is what we need from you. There's a commitment there. You're in a relationship with somebody and you want to marry that person, or you're making a commitment to that person. What's the difference to be saying, I'm committing to be your boyfriend, I'm committing to be your girlfriend? Right? Those are words. It's only as good as your commitment. But you see, when you want to marry, they make sure that there's a legal document in place. So that commitment is holding. It's a dedication to a cause, and often it requires a contract to seal it in, because it isn't easy to stay committed to something. I find it's difficult for a lot of actors to stay committed to a character choice for a 3-minute scene. It's not easy to do. This is my point. We can say, oh yeah, I'm committed to this, I'm committed to that. As soon as something better or stronger comes along, let's see how committed you want to. I mean, what is a martyr anyway? A martyr is somebody that's willing to die for what they believe in or who they're following, right? That they're held at a whole nother level because they actually would take a bullet or a sword or a noose or whatever it might be for that cause or person. That's a high level of commitment. Remember, freedom! Right? Mel Gibson in Braveheart, as he's being disemboweled, fully committed to his task of freedom. I mean, just was a great movie, but you guys kind of get the point there. Okay, and how about choice? And what is choice? Selecting or making a specific decision. We're deciding this is what you know, it's interesting when a lot of people want to go out and they let's say they want to go out and hang out and it's time to get something to eat. And this conversation is pretty common. Well, let's go get something to eat. Okay, yeah, sure. You hungry? Yeah, I could eat. Well, I'm not that hungry, but I'll eat. Yeah, I'm starving. Okay, we got all these different people involved. We said, well, where do you want to go? I don't care. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Why don't we go? We could go there. Well, maybe, how about if we, and it's like, oh my gosh, ad nauseum, you're on a street corner for 25 minutes trying to figure out some place to eat. It's like, hey, how about if we just go to Tony's and eat some Italian? Let's just make a decision. But then the person that says that is now subject to ridicule, right? Well, I don't know if I want Italian. Okay, well, look, let me make this simple for you. When it comes to making choices, it's always going to be better for you to make a decision, even if it's the wrong decision, than to sit in indecision. Okay? Decision is stronger than indecision. And when you're looking at your characters and you're going, I'm not sure, about this character, I'm not sure about this, that depends on your development and your insight into the craft. You're going, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try something. You're already operating very weak. Now, as a full-time professional on-camera coach, I get people coming in my studio right here regularly, often going, I just need you to help me understand what this is about. And it's very common that that's the first thing out of their mouths when we're doing a one-on-one private session. I need you to, now they're paying me by the hour, well, to help them make strong, sharp, clear, committed decisions on what they're doing. Why? Because they're not clear, they need a little help, which is fine. That's why I have a job and people like me do what we do. And they're going to be stronger when they know clearly, that's what that means. Oh, I see that. Oh, boom, yeah, I get that. And now the lights go on, there's clear focus, there's clear commitment, there's clear choice, and we now can work at a stronger level of what we're doing. Okay? All right. Next is care, and very, very important. Caring. And caring is a huge, huge power word right here for you guys. Okay? Here's what's going on with care. When you care, everything goes up. When you don't care, everything drops down. And what do I mean by everything? Everything. Care determines commitment, care determines energy, care determines focus, care determines all of it. Well, what are you doing? What's going on? Nothing, just hanging out on the couch. What are you watching? I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm just kind of chilling, just chillaxing over here. I don't really care. Something's burning in the kitchen. Oh, it'll probably put itself out. I mean, the energy levels are just really, really low. But when you care about something and you're like in it, you can tell what's going on with you. I got to figure something out. I got to remember important date. You can see there's something happening with somebody that's actively engaged in care. How about this one? This one just happened to me. I just got back from a week dive trip, if you notice my tan. I was in the Keys diving wrecks. And so I'm away for, 10 days. And I'm on a trip, and I'm way down, like 90 miles from Cuba, from Havana, way out there. And I reach for my phone, and it's nowhere on me. And I could have been anywhere. I was all over the island. I was all over this key. And I was like, oh! The minute I realized I didn't have my phone, whoa, everything. It's like if there was a score playing, it would have shifted. The energy changed. My look changed. I was in a restaurant, and the waiter he was like, are you okay? I mean, everybody can tell when you go to a heightened state of care. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anytime you lost your keys or your wallet, you misplaced your child. I mean, anytime you misplace anything of importance, all of a sudden, everything shifts. And that usually happens by accident. What I want to show you is how to channel that powerful energy on purpose. So let's take a look at this powerful little word, care. What is care? It's serious attention or consideration applied to doing something correctly. It's serious attention or consideration applied to avoiding damage or risk. Right? You don't want to mess something up. I mean, remember when you were coloring in a coloring book, or if you have any kids or nieces or nephews, and you watch, not the kids that are just scribbling all over, but the ones that are at that age that they really want to get it right, and they want to what? What's the rule of coloring in a coloring book, right? Stay inside the lines, right? That's how you know you become a better colorer. You're staying more inside. Look, come on, think back to when you were a little kid. You want to stay inside the lines. And I have a little niece, and she's a little artist. She comes from a family of artists, and she does some really cool coloring books. I mean, she's only 4, and she stays inside them. You watch, and she stays so focused. She cares so much about staying inside, and it goes, look. All the colors stayed inside the lines because she didn't want to get it wrong. She didn't want to damage the picture. She didn't want to risk messing it up. It's an object of concern and attention. You really, really care. And what's happening is in our society, there's a lot of this non-caring stuff that's going on. So overall, I've just seen the culture overall just become more non-caring. I mean, have you dealt with customer service out there lately? Oh my goodness, it's crazy. And for those of you in customer service, come on, care more. It also, care gives you more energy, it gives you more oxygen, it gives you more nutrients, you feel better, you live stronger by caring about what you're doing. Hey, we're going to get something to eat. Well, let's just do the drive-through. You obviously don't care very much about nutrition or personal health if you're just going to be slamming drive-through into your body. People that care about what they're doing are going to generally show a higher level, a higher quality of living than people who don't care. All right? I rarely drive past any of these homeless encampments and see them set up, like there's some new development. They're not attractive, There's a lot of people who live in homes. They're not attractive. They don't care about their conditions. But people that do care, they care. Usually there's order, there's cleanliness, it's operational, it's functional. Now, people can take care to a whole nother level where they become neurotically dysfunctional and they're driving everybody around them nuts. But I'm asking you to apply this to yourself when you're performing, speaking, acting, teaching, presenting. That's when you want to be on point and show that you've got it together. Like for me, I care a lot about this presentation. I go to great lengths to try to make these teachings really powerful for you guys. So when lights burn out or something breaks or I don't know how to press a button correctly because I'm learning the equipment, I'm like, that bothers me a little bit. But you operate with a little grace, you keep working at it, and you get to the next level of this, which is practice, and then you start improving on it and improving on it. That's what training is all about, helping you to improve on this. And this teaching for your training is about learning to live with more intent and more purpose. So again, at the bottom, attention is taking notice of something as interesting and important. Now, we have huge, huge relational issues. I know in our country, let alone probably the world. Relationships are difficult. In the United States, I believe over 50% of marriages actually wind up in divorce. It's not easy to stay in a healthy and functional relationship. I mean, there's a whole bunch of statistics out there, and I don't know them specifically. I wasn't planning on bringing this up. But not those relationships that don't wind up in divorce, there's like another 75% where they're functional. And then there are people that just stay together because they're just tolerating each other and they don't want to go through everything necessary to break up, or it's against their religion or whatever. But here's my point of this. For you to have a successful relationship, you have to stay careful, be careful of not taking the other person for granted. And what happens when you take the other person for granted? You start losing interest and they start to not become as important to you as they were. Now, come on, think about it, guys. What about that person you were with or might be with right now? Remember when they first got your attention? It was like, oh my gosh, I am so smitten. Unbelievable. And if you heard their name anywhere, it was amazing. And it was like you couldn't sleep. You kept picturing them. You're writing their name on your locker, on your sneakers. Or whatever. Remember back in elementary school, high school, all that? Maybe some of you still do it. You know, you get tattooed on their arm. And everything like that. And then now you're with them a little bit, and it's like, then, okay, you start to become more familiar with them, and then they start fitting into your world. You start realizing where you don't fit in with each other, and it's like, now we got this. And now, keep this in mind. You're either operating in your relationships in a place of celebration or toleration. And it's always fluctuating, all the time. So you're not always going to be in celebration of a person, and you shouldn't always be in toleration of a person. You should celebrate people. And then there's times you have to tolerate them because they're upsetting you or doing something you don't like, or you're doing something they don't like, and you get in this place of toleration. You want to work back out of that into a place of celebration because it's a healthier place to be. It's showing you're interested in them. They're important to you. And when you're acting, for actors that are in scene work, you need to be in celebration, if not in love, with the people that you're working with. And they're often complete strangers. So this stuff doesn't just come easy. You have to work at it, all right? So that's care. All right, now let me give you an idea of a film and how this works when it comes to acting. This is A-level acting with complete high intention, and I'm going to show you a clip from the movie Cruella. I'm going to set this up for just a minute. Let me do that. Okay, I think I'm getting pretty good at this. I'm getting better, I think, at least. And this is, what's that?
Press the on button on channel 2.
On 2. Okay, I don't know what I just did. Audio for 2? Okay, great, thanks. All right, we're figuring it out. So I have a clip from the movie Cruella, and here's why I chose Cruella to talk about intention. I watched, when I first saw this movie, it was actually on an airplane on a flight. I don't know that I would have gone to see it, only because it just wasn't, I didn't know anything about it. It just seemed like a Disney kid movie. I didn't know what it was, and it didn't grab my attention. This is how it happened, and I just want to share this with you for a quick minute. I was coming to work to my studio, and there's a stoplight out here, and it has 2 big billboards that are always putting up the latest television show or the latest hot movie that's up. And I'm sitting at the red light, and I looked up, and I noticed there was a billboard with Emma Stone on it, and it was black and white, and it was really kind of cool. It caught my attention, and in red it said Cruella, and I don't know the series, I don't know the story, I'm not up on the 101 Dalmatians. It was just another movie, Disney movie, called Cruella. I don't even know if I even said the name right when I first saw it, and a picture of Emma Stone with black and white hair. And I'm sitting at a red light just looking at the billboard. And I'm looking at her face. Now again, remember, I'm an acting coach. And I'm looking at her face and I'm going, wow, there's a lot going on in her face. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me to the point that when I got to the studio and taught the class that I was getting ready to teach, I actually brought up the interest in her face, and I'll share with you what I shared with them. It was so interesting that I couldn't make out who she was. I actually mentioned that it could have even been photoshopped because the look on her face was completely fascinating to me because it had many looks going on at one time. And I thought, was Emma Stone capable of that? Or was that photoshopped? And then I talked about complexities and layering your thoughts and emotions so it's more interesting, because when you bring in complexity, it just creates more interest. Often, like if you just eat vanilla ice cream, but then if you eat something whipped up by a chef and you're like, oh my gosh, what's in there? And they're going, oh, well, you know, we've got all kinds of different flavors, and there's bay leaves in here and this, and they tell you all these really cool things they do to turn it into like these works of art. And you can see it when you just look at, say, refrigerator art, you know, scribbling by a child on a coloring book. And when you go to the Louvre and you see these amazing famous paintings from these brilliant artists, of course there's going to be more interest, more often than not, in things that are more complex in that nature. And part of us as presenters and actors and performers, we want to be more interesting. So when we can bring more complexity in, it becomes more interesting. So now, going back to Emma Stone and Cruella, I watched the movie, and I'm in an airplane, so I'm very captive. I'm just right there, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this is, because I can know if I didn't like it, I could always go on to another movie and go to another. Southwest, you get to pick any movie you want. It's great. And so I just looked at it, and right from the get-go, I was taken by this movie. And I'll tell you why. There was so much intentionality in this movie. The intentionality, well, Disney, of course, it's a major Disney release, right? All the focus, all the attention, the direction, the set design, the costumes and wardrobe, forget about it. It's off the hook. The acting, so intentional, playing big outlandish characters and keeping them real and believable. I was enamored with it. I watched it twice. Right, and that's not something I'll do often, right in a row. Right in a row, I had to watch the movie twice and go back. Then I found myself studying the movie and looking at the work. And then the two-person scenes between the two Emmas, Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, and I was fascinated because I love brilliance, and I love brilliance and simplicity. And I'm going to show you a couple of clips from this movie that really drive home intention. And the one clip that's coming up right now is a clip of Emma Thompson eating an olive. And it happens very fast, and it is brilliant. The intentionality of her and her character, how she takes it, how she handles it, how she eats it, how she's done eating it. It happens very fast, and it's so intentional. It's some of the best on-camera specific eating I have seen. Let's take a look at this.
Whether you have the killer instinct is the big...
Oh, we have an issue. Hang on here, just a moment.
Go ahead and to camera one.
What would you like me to do?
Just go to camera one.
I'm on camera one.
Hold off for a second.
Hang on, we have a glitch in the system. Unintentional glitch, but we're intentionally fixing it right now with care and focus and a plan. Are we going to be good?
Very good. And thought.
Okay.
There you go. Let's set it back to.
Okay, there we go. I think, should I make it big?
Yeah,
How are we
make it
doing? Okay, let's see what's happening here. You can take care of that for me. And here we go. It's coming back. All right, here we go. Am I on two? I'm on two.
Whether you have the killer
Oh, wait,
instinct is
she's
the
moving.
big
I don't want to do this. Okay, hang on. I gotta set you guys up. All right, here it comes.
Whether you have the killer,
Stop. Here it comes.
whether you have...
Okay, she's got to go. Okay, we're going to start from here. All right, now they can see that, and they can hear that. Okay, here we go. It happens quick, guys. You ready? This is Emma Thompson, and she's the Baroness.
The killer instinct is the big question.
Boom. What? We can hear it? Okay, I was told that you guys can hear that. I couldn't hear that. I'm going to show it to you again because it happens very quick. Just the precision and the manner in which she eats this olive.
Whether you have the killer instinct is the big question.
Ah, it's brilliant. absolutely brilliant. Now you might be going, this guy's crazy. What's he talking about? Well, you just don't have the eyes to really see it just yet. Now I want to advance a little bit more into this. I can't really scrub the timeline. Okay, this is a little tricky for me, so I'm not able to do this the way that I want to do this. But I'll have to get back to you guys on this one because it's too new, and I'm now stuck in a locked frame.
Whether you have
It's
the
all out of
killer.
control for me now. Okay, here we go. Back at it. Okay, what are we seeing? What's everybody looking at? Let me find one more scene here that I can queue up for you guys. This is just not happening as user-friendly as I wanted it to, so what I'm realizing is I have to pull each clip out differently. I put several clips on a timeline, so I'm going to spare you and show you another scene between Emma Thompson and Emma Stone on just the intentionality between the two of these guys in this little two-person scene. And of those of you guys that have seen the movie, you pretty much know how this goes. Okay, I'm going large here and hit 2 and play, correct? Here we go, guys. Can I put me in the corner at the same time? And there okay, and I can talk at the same time, but I can't hear what they're saying.
Who are you? You look vaguely familiar.
I look stunning.
Her lips.
I don't know about familiar,
Her
darling.
hand.
Your hair, is it real?
Black and white
The
wool.
eyes.
I like to make an impact.
The looks. The camera
Right.
bouncing between
What
the
was your name?
actors. Every look.
Cruella.
Every movement. The
Oh.
background. Everything is
That's
specific
quite fabulous.
with
And you designed
complete
this.
intention.
You did, actually. 1965 collection.
Oh, no wonder I love it. It's mine.
I fixed it.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's brilliant stuff, guys. It's really brilliant stuff. The movie gets a little dark. It goes completely, what's happening, 2 off?
Yep.
Good? Okay. Shouldn't you be doing all this? Why am I doing all this? All right, we're getting it worked out, guys. The movie does get a little bit, on the evil side at the end, but that's all just part of the film. But the acting and the intentionality are absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm a little out of control here on getting back to my PowerPoint, and I want to do a review. Okay, I'm going to do there we go. Okay. I'm going to do a quick review for you guys on these keywords: focus, direction, purpose, plan, commitment, choice, and care. You can go back and you can review these. And also, guys, what I'm going to do is give you a last point and an assignment and a practice, and for you guys to go out and start putting this to work right now. Okay? So, I want you to take a look at this here. And this is how to live segments of your life with intent and purpose, and this is the assignment. You can screenshot this, you can come back and see it again, but here's how this is going to work for you. You're going to choose a task, any task from simple to complex. You could be feeding your dog, tying your shoes, to figuring out some kind of mathematical equation. It doesn't matter, I just would like you to choose some kind of task to do for this assignment. Then decide on the amount of time that you wish to take. And whatever amount of time you wish to take that you think you can do this, say you're preparing a breakfast, and you normally can prepare a breakfast in 12 minutes. What I want you to do is add 5 more minutes onto it. The reason why is because you have to carry all these moments without losing focus on what it is that you're doing. How you attack the assignment is you start off and you say, I'm going to have an in point and an out point for the assignment. Now what that means is, let's just say I'm going to make a bowl of cereal. Okay, just simple. Can be anything. The task can be anything. And I can make a bowl of cereal and probably I cut up bananas, put in some yogurt. It takes me about 4 minutes to make a bowl of cereal. Okay? I'm going to add 5 minutes to that, which makes it about 9 or 10 minutes I'm going to do this exercise. The in point is going to be the minute I walk in the kitchen. The out point is going to be the minute I sit down and go to eat the cereal that I just made. Okay, so there's my in point, out point. That means that's the scene. I am going to be in a specific character, doing this specific task, for this period of time. It's a 10-minute scene to prepare a bowl of cereal. You don't need 10 minutes. I know, I'm adding those extra minutes on there because you have to fill that with focus, intent, plan, direction, commitment, care, and everything we just covered in this teaching. You're going to put all those things into place. Then you're going to go into the task with complete focus for the duration of the assignment. You're going to hold your focus all the way through that entire committed time frame until you are out the other end. So it's like doing a scene in real life. Now, if you want to add to this intentionality, put a camera on yourself. Now, that camera could be real or imagined. And what that means is you can actually set your camera up, and like I have a camera on me right now, everything I'm doing is very intent and very focused and on purpose. There's a camera on me. You can do that with your camera. Or you can just set up a metaphoric camera that you're being watched. I used to do this back when I was training back in the 70s and 80s, before it was vogue to be carrying around a camera in our pocket, just pretending that I was doing things and I was being watched, because it raised my level of intentionality for what it is I was doing, which helped me to perform better. Okay, it will increase your overall intentionality when a camera's there. You know what that's like. Anytime we're anywhere and all of a sudden a camera shows up, what do I look like? Same thing happens when you pass a mirror. You walk past a mirror, it's like, oh, well, how am I looking? Your intent to live goes up. Your intentionality increases, okay? And now for bonus points in wrapping up this teaching for you guys. When you're ready, take this work into real life situations, meaning go to an airport, go to a shopping mall, go to a park, go somewhere in public, a Starbucks, anywhere you go, Ralph's, department store, Trader Joe's, anywhere, and go and do something in that environment with an in point and an out point and an intentionality of staying in character and doing the task on purpose. Once you come out of that, it's over, then go ahead and assess it, review it. If you filmed it, watch the filming of it, go back and look at your playback, see what you're doing, take some notes, rinse and repeat. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Look, if you're wanting to work on camera as an on-camera performer, okay, you've got to get good at doing these things. Now, one of the, in my opinion, best acting coaches alive today on the planet, who's my coach, Mr. Larry Moss. I think he's trained more award-winning performances than anybody else. His book, his acting book, is actually called, and some of you might know, Intent to Live. That's the name of the acting book. Intent to Live. An actor must be living with full specificity of intention. That's what makes you more interesting. But now, where's the rub in all of this? The rub in all of this is that it exposes intimacy. It draws attention to you. You have to become more vulnerable with what you're doing. Ooh, attention, vulnerability, and intimacy. Yeah, you might be sitting there in the comfort of your homes going, oh, no big deal. Yeah, well, let's take it into public and see how that works, because it isn't as easy as you think. And as you work it in more, say, challenging situations, you're having to raise your level. It's like going to the gym and lifting more weight. You're going to put more resistance on you, which is going to help you to grow more. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. I've enjoyed bringing this teaching to you guys. I trust that you got a lot out of it. It might be a teaching that you might need to go back and look at again, and maybe again. Get these words in you. Be careful of generalizations and specificity. Look, if you're just hanging around and you're not doing anything, you don't care, like on my off time, I don't want to make decisions on my off time, because I'm making decisions all the time on my on time. And it's like, yeah, whatever you guys want to do. It's like, yeah, but I'm in a specific place, and it's only for a specific period of time. So outside of that, you should be working on doing it with specificity, intent, and purpose, and bringing quality. Because not only will it make you better at what you do, performing, speaking, teaching, presenting, it'll make you a better person, which makes you a better neighbor, a better family member, a better member of humanity on this planet. Ooh, we're getting all ooey there. But it's true, because when you do live with more intent and more purpose, you actually are a better version of yourselves, and you contribute more to this life experience that we're all having together. So that's it for me now. If you would like any further information on anything that that I'm bringing to you right now, you can find it right here at claybankstudio.com. Check out that website. My web designer just rebuilt it, and man, did he do a bang-up job. I'd love for you to go to the website, check it out, and then there's a comment box. You can just, you can just leave a comment and just tell us what you think of the website. Leif Derrickson, I'm going to give him a shout out. Fantastic web guy. Check out his work on our website at claybankstudio.com. And if you're really, really nice in your comments, I might present it to him, and maybe he'll help you out too. But I have to be careful because I don't want him working for too many people, because he does a great job for us. But no, seriously, check out his work. It's really great. Claybankstudio.com. And if you have any questions, if you want a copy of this, you can go back and just take the copy off of any of the socials that's out there, or just contact us at info@claybankstudio.com, and we will be more than happy to get back to you. If you're interested in classes, private coachings, of course, all that is available. If you feel I'm somebody that might be able to take you to the next level, I can and I will. Go ahead. I have a 30-minute free assessment session that allows you an opportunity to meet with me one-on-one to see whether it is a fit. I can also see whether or not I can help you, because if I don't feel I can help you, I will tell you. I have a fully operating studio and a full roster, and I'm very busy. But I always love working with good actors, serious actors, entertainers, teachers, speakers, presenters. I'm working with people, helping them with their TED Talks, their TEDx talks. It's any time you're going to present yourself and communicate your message on camera, I will take you to the next level. I guarantee it, because I know it works, and I just love seeing you guys soar and just operate at the best of your game. So claybankstudio.com, info@claybankstudio.com. And until next time, guys, thank you for bearing with us on this new technology, and we're going to continue to practice and bring you better and better teachings to come. So until then, God bless you guys, and be safe out there.